Hi, welcome back to my channel, and this is a sound off on the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Now, y'all know I love Jennifer Aiden down. That is my girl. But I'm not gonna sit here and act like I agree with what she has done. This season she has been really annoying, really annoying. She's been like a dog with a bone. She's been like Margaret, really, hounding Danielle about this charity stuff and everything else she got going on, and don't none of us care. You brought up a charity event that was not filmed for the show. Why are we supposed to care? It was just like, girl, you could have wrapped that up a while ago. I believe everything that Jen is saying, that Danielle, you tried to pretend like you had it like that. You used us to help you do this charity event that you really could not afford. And then you took money that you raised for the event and you paid yourself back, or you reimbursed yourself for your expenses. And that's tacky. We don't do those type of things around here. We just don't care. We don't care. Now, when it comes to Jennifer shoving Danielle at Teresa's house at her party, I still feel like, Jennifer, if you're going to shove somebody like that, expect a fight. Be ready for them to swing on you. She was wrong to be in your face. I'm like, you're dirty. You're dirty. I can see how that's triggering. I can see how that upsets you. But you should have stepped back and told her, girl, get up out of my face. You didn't do that. You shoved her like you was ready to fight. So y'all fought. Well, y'all don't really fight. She shoved you and then you shoved her and she clocked you. But I mean, you should have expected something. Now, as for Danielle, I don't like her. I somewhat enjoyed her last season. This season, I did not. She came on last season telling us how her brother doesn't speak to her. He just completely discarded her in a relationship that they have, and he wants nothing to do with her. This season, she comes on here and tells us how she no longer speaks to her father because her father took her brother's side in the situation, and so she cut her father off. So you mean to tell me that man that was sitting on your couch, distraught, trying to come up with a resolution between you and your brother, you mean to tell me that man just out of nowhere decided to take your brother's side? So you treated him the way your brother treated you. You discarded him just like your brother discarded you. Girl, get out of our face with that. Something about that ain't honest. You're not telling us the whole story. Something must have happened, but your brother ain't on the show, so we really don't care about that. You just showed us what type of person you are. And the way that you drag things with Jen, and I understand you're not liking Jen, but the way that you drag things with Jen makes me feel like you're not that innocent in things with your brother and your dad. Like something is going on there, and you're not telling the truth. Okay, so let's talk about Teresa and these receipts on Margaret. I know a lot of people were like, oh, this was not a big deal. This was no bombshell. Teresa's already told us this over the years. But a lot of Margaret supporters were like, oh, that's not true. Where's the proof? Teresa made this up in her head. She's crazy. Margaret hasn't been communicating with anyone. Now she shows us proof. Now Margaret is even acknowledging, yeah, I did talk to the ex. Now everybody's acting like, oh, well, it's no big deal. No, it's a big deal because y'all said that Teresa was lying and she made it up. I felt like the scene at the house with the lawyer was very choppy. Side note, those funeral flowers that Margaret sent to Teresa, I thought that was very tacky. I don't understand how you can have an elderly mother. You just buried your ex-husband, and now your current husband is not doing so well, so you say. And you would send someone funeral flowers? You thought that that was the thing to do? But anyways, back to the sit down with the lawyer. I think Jackie missed the opportunity. I don't know if this is a lawyer thing, but I feel like Jackie did a Phaedra. You remember how Phaedra was at the Who Said That situation? And they're like, who said that? Who said that? Phaedra's sitting at the end of the table, nervous as all hell. When you a grown woman, nobody's going to take a belt and spank you. All Jackie had to do, just like Phaedra, was just own your shit in the moment. Instead of doing that, you sat up there and let somebody else. Let me tell you what my mama taught me. My mom told me from when I was like at least 5 or 6 years old. She said, tell me, when you do something, tell me. I'd rather hear it from you than hear it from someone else. So one thing about me is I'm always going to tell you what I did. Yep, I did it. If I forget to tell you and you ask me, did you do this? I did it. This is why I did it. This is how I did it. This is what made me do it. This is what made me feel like I wanted to do what I did. I did that shit. Yes, I did it. Because what you're not going to do it stress me out and hold anything over my head. No. I'm just gonna say what it is. That's why I have clear skin. I'm just gonna tell you, yes, I did it. Yes, I said that. That's how I felt at the time. I said that shit. You're not gonna do me nothing. You're not gonna whoop me. You don't want that. Like, I don't know. Like, Jackie, that was the opportune time for you to say, you know what, Teresa, let me be very transparent here. You know, when me and you were going through it, when you said what you said about Evan, even after the fact, I was still very upset with you, girl. So when the stalker ex reached out to me, I wanted to hear what she had to say. I never revealed it, but I did go listen to what she had to tell me. I did do that. You're not gonna hold over my head that I did something. I'd rather just tell it myself. Much like Phaedra, you sat up there and let somebody else tell your story for you. Now no one even wants to hear you out. I guess it's, you know, the lawyer in them. They're gonna use their Fifth Amendment. They're not going to talk about stuff they don't have to talk about. So, I mean, I guess. So this scene with Dolores, Margaret, and Jim Fessler, that was the best scene for me. I enjoyed that more than the dinner. Because I really didn't care about the dinner that much. Like, there was, you know. Margaret and Dolores and Jim Fessler sitting there stressed out. Sitting there holding the pillow. Stressed. It was everything to me. It was a long time coming. It was well deserved. We needed that. I needed that. I needed to see that. I feel like Margaret has tried Dolores many a times. I think many a times Margaret has said some stuff out of her behind and Dolores just kind of goes along with it. A lot of viewers feel as though Margaret keeps an arsenal on everyone, right? Because Melissa said it, Jackie said it, Dolores has said it. They've all said it. If you're going to come on this show and tell us that Margaret keeps an arsenal on everyone, she wakes up every day and digs into everybody's business. This is what Melissa told us, right? And Dolores is like, yeah, that's not somebody you want as an enemy. And so did Jackie. It's kind of hard for me to think that she don't have tea on all of you. You guys are her closest friends on the cast, and you guys are all saying this. She got dirt on y'all as well. And that is how she keeps you guys in line. And that is why when she says certain things, Dolores, you could tell Dolores don't be with it, but she just kind of lets it go. She won't argue. She won't say nothing. She just kind of lets things go. Many a time she sat up here and said that Dolores is much closer of a friend to her than Teresa, even though Teresa and Dolores have known each other since they were teenagers. Joe Gorga has said Dolores is like their sister. But Margaret, whom you met on the show, who was beefing with your best friend, now is telling you in front of all of us that you and her have a much tighter relationship than the girl you've been knowing since you were a kid. That ain't never sat right with me. And you know, a lot of people be like, oh, Margaret must got something on Dolores. And I think I figured it out. I think I know what it is. Now, if y'all will allow me to be a little messy. Do y'all remember back when Big Frank made his like debut on the show? Like when he really became a part of the show. He and Dolores, I think, were furniture shopping or something. He had just become disbarred, okay? And disgraced. And Dolores kept chastising him like, you didn't tell me. I can't believe all this was going on. And you didn't tell me, you didn't tell me, you didn't tell me. The purpose of this scene was to let all of us know that Frank be doing stuff and he don't tell Dolores what he be doing. I think that was an insurance policy for Dolores to say that if, you know, y'all catch him on some more crimes, it ain't had nothing to do with her. Because if you remember, this is right around the time Teresa had just come back from prison and Joe Giudice had just gone to prison. And, you know, she was just like, basically, if y'all catch him in any more stuff, I ain't got nothing to do with it. Because Dolores and Big Frank are business partners. They have several gyms and God knows what else they got their hands in. Who knows? Just in case he get in trouble. America, you heard me say, I don't know what he be up to. And he don't tell me what he be up to. He didn't even tell me he was going before the Bar Association to get his stuff snatched. He didn't tell me none of this. I don't know nothing. So when y'all are ready to bring on the indictments, leave my name up out of it. I think that that's what Dolores was doing. But I also know that since Big Frank is no longer a lawyer, he's been doing a lot of contracting, building houses, doing different things. He got different things he's been doing. And y'all know Margaret had already told us her husband's a plumber, and he knows all the ins and outs. He knows who pays people and who don't pay people and who do this and who do that and who that. I think that Margaret knows some stuff about Big Frank that might implicate Dolores, and that is the reason why Dolores plays nice with Margaret. She got something on her by way of Big Frank. That's what I think it is. Because I don't understand how she has never really given Margaret the business up until now. Like, the way that she treated Siggy, the way that Dolores was riding hard for Siggy, people think she has Teresa's back. She was riding hard for Siggy. Even when Siggy was making herself look like a fool, Dolores had Siggy's back. For you to now be besties with the woman who disgraced her and took her down and made her run away from the show, it makes no sense to me. So yeah, I think she has dirt on Big Frank. But when she hopped up off that couch and she called her a lion, see you next Tuesday, I was all the way here for it. And Margaret looked terrified. She was afraid of what Dolores was about to say. Dolores, sit down. Dolores, come down. Why are you getting upset? Because she was shocked. I think many a times she's halfway lied on Dolores and Dolores lets her get away with it. But on this particular situation, Dolores is like, I'm not going to let you make me look like a bad friend to Teresa. She went too far with Dolores. She did. Now, I really didn't like that Dolores made nice with her towards the end of this exchange, but I'm still happy that she gave her a piece of her mind. Let her know, don't play with me, bitch. You didn't ever tell me nothing about this takedown meeting you had. Don't lie on my name. I wasn't a part of that, okay? She let her know, you ain't finna lie on me on today. You need to retract that. I never said that. You never told me. Baby, you wanna piss me off, lie on me and say I said some stuff I didn't say. I don't care how small it is. Don't ever put words in my mouth. Don't ever misquote me. If you don't remember, say you don't remember. But don't put words in my mouth. I take that very serious. So I was here with Dolores. I was all the way here with Dolores. I felt really good about that scene. Okay, so let's get into this dinner. The first blow up between Jennifer and Danielle, it was so comical to me. I don't understand how Danielle can sit up there and say all that stuff to Jennifer, and then all Jennifer had to say to her was your husband has man boobs, and you become undone. You unravel because she tells you that your husband has man boobs, as if you didn't know this already, as if you don't see them every day. Like, girl, you became undone because of that? Ciao, bye. Again, you just demonstrated for us how you can sit there and insult Jennifer all these times. And then when Jennifer says something to you that you don't like, you make yourself the victim. Is that what you did with your dad? Is that what you did with your brother? Girl, I guess. She was really upset. And then when she went in the bathroom crying, it was like, I get sometimes when you want to slap the piss out of someone and you can't, you might cry because you're frustrated. I get that. But it was like, girl, you know what that reminded me of? Season 1 of Love and Hip Hop ATL. Do y'all remember when Rashida sat up there and said she called K. Michelle everything you could think of. You raggedy, you schizophrenic, crazy ass, ... bitch. And then K. Michelle said, bags under your eyes, and Rashida jumped up off that couch like she wanted to fight. You insulted her at least 20 times. All she said to you was you had bags under your eyes. You want to fight? That's what that reminded me of. It's like, girl, go somewhere. Oh, she's just annoying. I don't like Danielle. I don't like Danielle. I don't like her. Because when she said that your husband had man boobs, you were supposed to say something back. You have insulted her husband several times leading up to this dinner. So for her to say something about your husband, girl, you should have anticipated that. To cry? You big loser. Like, girl, get out of here. Now, when she lunged at Jennifer and Teresa jumped up to protect her girl Jennifer, I was here for that. Okay? She jumped up for her like a real sister. You know, Jennifer told her brother, and I think it was another episode, how she didn't like the fact that Teresa didn't have her back the first time stuff popped off. Girl, my thing is, maybe Teresa didn't have your back then because you were wrong. Maybe Teresa didn't have your back then because she didn't agree with what you did. Just because she's your friend doesn't mean she have to agree with every single thing that you've done. Because Jennifer, you've done some obnoxious things. You've done some unnecessary things. So you shoving that girl and her having smoke for you after the fact, girl, you brought that on yourself. Teresa don't have to have your back for that. She does not always have to have your back. She may disagree with you. That's a real friend will tell you, girl, I didn't like that you did that. We got to get in the habit of doing that. Okay? Telling people when they're wrong. No matter how much you love them, if they're wrong, they're wrong. And you was wrong. But in that dinner, you was not wrong. Teresa had your back because she was like, oh no, you got my girl messed up. And I was here for it. I thought it was hilarious. Now, when Teresa yelled at Danielle and Melissa hopped into it, inserted herself and started going off on her, it was like, girl, go to hell. Go to hell. You are so pathetic. This whole season, you talking about, oh, I'm not talking to Teresa. I'm not talking to Teresa. But every scene, you're talking about Teresa. And then Teresa's talking to someone else and you jump in to yell at her. You're a weirdo. You should have ignored her. But you had no skin in the game. You had nothing. Like, nobody was there to have a conversation with you. You had to yell at Teresa to get your 15 seconds of airtime because you had nothing to contribute to this episode. You were just there. You were just decoration. You took that one opportunity to yell at Teresa and have some type of exchange. And when you called her white trash, first of all, I don't know why you would call her white trash, because your husband was raised in the same home as her. So if she's white trash, does that not make your husband white trash? Y'all don't be thinking, y'all just be talking. Now, when she responded to you and called you a whore, then you're like, oh, let me drag Antonia into this. Oh, I'm Antonia's mother. I'll let her know you think I'm a whore. Yeah, and let my brother know he married a whore. Let him know that. You a whore. I didn't care that she said that because you called her white trash. What was she supposed to call you? A princess? Like, what was she supposed to say? Was she supposed to say something nice to you? When you call someone white trash, you don't only insult them. You insult their parents, the home that they come from, their family unit. When you use that type of insult, you need to know what you're saying. You're really dumb, Melissa. You're a really dumb girl. Like, y'all love to say that Teresa's dumb, but she's smarter than y'all. But yeah, I was just annoyed by that because this is, the second time that Melissa has used Antonia as a shield. Oh, I'm Antonia's mom. I'm going to tell her you think I'm a whore. You called Melania's mom white trash. Your husband called Gia's mom garbage in front of her as a little girl. Your husband called Gabriella's mom a bitch. Your husband called Adriana's mom scum. Nobody flinched. When any of these things happened, no one said a word. But she called you a whore as a response to you calling her white trash. And I've always thought this, but I feel like this confirms what I've been thinking all along. Melissa and Joe think that their children are more important than Teresa and her kids. I guess because they have the Gorga last name, they're going to carry on the parents' last name. I think this is what also bothered Joe, that their parents were closer to Teresa's children than his children. When his children carry the name, carry the legacy. Antonia is named after Teresa's mom. And so I think that's why they kind of do those things and say those things. Y'all really want to make this case that Teresa is a bad person, but it's like, do y'all realize the things that you guys say and do? Like, you guys sit up there and bash Teresa's kids and say, oh, she has hate in her heart and she's this way, that way, and the third way. Last season, Teresa said, I think Rachel asked her if her kids were close to Melissa's kids. And she said they used to be. But Antonia couldn't make it to Melania's Sweet 16, and she was really upset about that. And Melissa blew that whole thing out of proportion as if Teresa cussed her niece out, when she did not. She didn't say her niece was full of hate like you said about your nieces. She didn't say that. But you called your husband, got him all riled up to dog Teresa when Teresa didn't even say nothing wrong. Now, should she have answered that? Maybe not, because it was a trap. However, she did not insult your kids the way you've insulted her kids. Melissa must have forgot how she got at that reunion. I think this was season 3 or 4. When she got on that reunion and sat up there and said that she was going to be moving so that her daughter would not attend school with Teresa's 4 daughters because she felt like they would bully her daughter. It's 4 of them and it's one of my daughters. What? She forgot she said that. Because you want to sit up here and tell myself, I'm going to let Antonia know. Girl, shut up. But anyways, back to this dinner. I think Jennifer was more than gracious to allow Miss Girl to come back to the table. I would not have. You lunged at me from across the table for absolutely no reason because you were insulting my family and my husband. And then I gave it back to you what you was looking for. And then you think you could lunge on me? You gotta go. For both of our safety, you would have to go. Like, Jennifer is better than me. Because, girl, what you're not gonna do is keep trying to physically assault me. The first one, I give it to you. Jennifer, you look for that. But her sitting at the table, you guys are sitting across a big table. And this is not a small table. This is a long table. You lunged at her. It would have been bad. So no, you can't come back, girl. Bye. Your pay gonna get docked. Go home. Go wait in the car outside for your friends to show up out there and talk to you. You can talk. You can film in the parking lot. Bye. So back to this dinner. It's time for Teresa and Margaret to face off. And you could tell that they had a plan going into this dinner. Because Rachel jumps in. Melissa tries to jump in. Everybody got something to say because y'all know that Margaret is cooked. She knows it. And she don't want Teresa to finish saying what she want to say because she got her bomb to drop. Now, when Rachel intervened and she says to Teresa, oh, you think your husband is really being forthcoming? And Teresa gives her right back to her. And then she becomes undone like Danielle and starts making threats. I'm going to say this one time. One time or what? What you going to do? You going to jump up and lunge across the table like Danielle did? Girl, that'll be the worst mistake of your life. Teresa's already frustrated. Don't you know the ass whooping that she will lay upon you? Your arthritis is really going to be acting a fool. You really want to do that to Teresa? Girl, I don't know. And when she says something about your funny looking husband again, what are you going to do? What are you going to do then? Nothing. Your rehearsed reads, your rehearsed threats, your insults, they fall flat every time. She's talking about some of your hot dog lips. Your lips look just like Teresa's. So I don't know how you're calling her lips hot dog lips, but you already said this before. This is a recycled rehearsed read. This is something you practice, but you've already said it. Are you glitching? What's going on? Like, I expect better from you. And you know you should never be talking about nobody's physical appearance. Have you seen your nose? You have half a teaspoon of a nose left, and you want to talk about somebody else's physical appearance. They can't even fix your nose. Why you would ever feel comfortable talking about anybody's looks when you have botched plastic surgery yourself? Lips can be dissolved. Lip fillers can be dissolved. Your situation going on your nose, you might want to stop. You might not want to talk about nobody else's face. No more. Don't do that. Don't do that no more. And your girl Melissa should have told you, like, girl, you might want to stop talking about her lips. Because yours don't look that much different. That's how you know Melissa and Margaret are never your friends. They're not your friends because they keep setting you up for failure. But anyways, this bomb that Margaret drops on Jackie, it doesn't even surprise me because Jackie don't like Teresa. So it really didn't make me feel no kind of way. But like I said earlier, Jackie should have told on herself. She should have told on herself. That way it wouldn't even have meant nothing. But she set you up. And Margaret, you are a nasty, nasty piece of work. Because y'all was all talking about how Teresa triggered Jackie's ED earlier in the season. And then you and Melissa, y'all all sat up there and did to this girl what y'all did. Y'all ain't no friends. And she really thought y'all was her friends. She was really sitting up there last season or season before last. I don't like it because Teresa's fighting with my friends. Girl, these your friends. These your friends, girl. They really threw you under the bus. Like Melissa threw you under the bus. And Margaret was right there driving. She drove over you. She backed that bitch up. Roll over you again. I mean, like, girl. Jackie was silent the whole dinner. Why would you do Jackie like that? And Jackie, I don't feel no kind of bad for you because it's what you deserve. It's what you deserve. Do I care that she reached out to the ex or that she talked to the ex? I don't really care. But this is what happened when you fake. This is what you happen. I recently learned a lesson similar to Jackie, okay? Jackie, we both sitting on the same bench, okay? I recently learned a similar lesson. When you sit back and watch certain friends do things that you're not really okay with. They're not okay things that your friends are doing. Baby, you need to know that one day they're going to come back and do it to you. When you're silent, watching your friends do stuff that they're not supposed to be doing, or maybe you're not even silent. Maybe you tell them you don't like what they're doing, but you try to do it in a nice way. You try to deliver it in a nice way. Well, girl, you shouldn't do that. No, say it with your full chest. This is not okay. We should not be talking to this lady. We shouldn't be doing these things. We shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be doing this. If you don't say it with your chest, I promise you, the day will come where they will come back and do you worse. They will do you 10 times worse. I am currently experiencing that situation. So, Jackie, girl, don't feel too bad. It happens to all of us. It happens to the best of us. Melissa gonna be next if this show continues. And it's gonna be bad for Melissa, but you know what? Melissa's gonna comply with whatever Margaret tells her to do, because she don't want that smoke. Only your dumb ass wants that smoke. Melissa know better. Jackie girl, I really don't care that happened to you, but I understand, I know you felt real stupid. I know you felt stupid. You had to have felt stupid. And Teresa, if you really are, I hope you just playing nice with Jackie. I really hope you don't think that this bitch is a friend. She don't deserve your friendship, Teresa. But yeah, Margaret and Jackie both told lies. Because Jackie says in her confessional that, you know, the girl wanted to meet up with her, so she met up with her or whatever. And it was because Teresa was coming for her husband. So it was like, oh, she wanted to give me some information. You know, you talking about her husband, she talking about your husband. Girl, that didn't even make no sense because Louis was not in the picture when you and Teresa were beefing. Y'all supposedly had buried the hatchet before she even met Louis. So you're lying. But it's cool because, like I said, you were never Teresa's friend. So the fact that you went and met up with the lady, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. You did what you wanted to do. But just why lie about it? You lying about it makes it look like more happened than what actually happened. Because as soon as Margaret brought that shit up, you should have said, I did talk to her. She wasn't at my house, but I talked to her. I did. You really should have done it at Teresa's house. But maybe you were scared that you wasn't going to be able to leave. I don't know. But as soon as she called you out, you should have accepted and say yes. You don't sit there and deny, then admit it. Because now you don't have no credibility. And we already know you to be the type of person that reaches out to people who don't like Teresa. Didn't you give Margaret text messages, like screenshots of text messages of you corresponding with Jacqueline Larita? We already know that this is what you do. So you should have just admitted it, right? But I guess it makes it more interesting when you got embarrassed the way that you did. I wonder how all the loyal, you know, Jackie supporters feel. Because this y'all girl, right? Now back to Margaret. Margaret says in her confessionals that when she heard about the burn session that Teresa was having at her house with the lawyer, she called the stalker ex and asked her, what is this meeting about? Let me stop you right there, Margaret. How the hell would she know what this meeting was about? How would she know? You women are filming a reality show. How the hell would the stalker ex know what this is about? Unless you want to tell us that she has Teresa's home bugged. Y'all are lying. All of y'all is telling tales. Y'all are lying. Why would she even know what Teresa wanted to discuss? How would she know that? And why would you think that she would know that? Why would you call her up to ask her about that? It's more believable that you called her up to tell her that this was happening and you wanted more tea from her. That's probably what actually happened. Is that you told her, girl, this is what Teresa doing. What else tea you got for me? And she gave you the tea on. But I don't even believe that. I think that if Jackie met with the ex, you knew all about it. I'm even willing to bet that you facilitated it. This is not new information. And let's be real, this stalker ex, she been exposed that you and her had a relationship. She been exposed this long time ago. She was sending her supporters over to your website to shop and buy things from you, who she never spoke to. Girl, bye. The lady's a stalker. And you also asked out the lady as a stalker because why would she know any of this? This lady and Louis broke up long before he ever met Teresa. So why would she know what Teresa's plan? You're lying, and it doesn't, like, girl, hang it up. You've been caught. All of you guys have been caught. I'm just tired of the lies and the manipulation. Production really wanted to piece this together to make it seem like Margaret went to speak to the ex after Teresa and Jennifer spoke to her best friend, Laura. That's a damn lie. You did a lot of things before that actually happened. And we already know because the ex, none of y'all are smart enough to convince us otherwise. We know you've been talking to this lady. You've been talking to this lady. So let's not do that, okay? Let's keep it real. I don't believe that Louis called your son, okay? If he really wanted to call your son and threaten him, why would he use his actual phone number? That don't make sense. You can get a burner phone very easily. Why would he do that? I don't believe it for 2 seconds, okay? I think that there's a lot of lies going on in the show, and that's what people are sick of. They're sick of the bullshit. it's okay for Jackie and Margaret to accuse Teresa of cheating on Joe Giudice while he was in ICE lockup. But the next season, when Teresa said, I heard that your husband be down to the gym doing stuff, Jackie. Oh my God, why would she do that to Jackie? But it was okay when Jackie and Margaret did it to her the season before. Why is it okay for Margaret to dig up a 10-year affair to embarrass Jennifer on the show? She's 10 years removed from this, and you expose that her husband had an affair on her. And then everybody's like, well, it's because she's been saying that Margaret and her mom are homewreckers. So then it's justified when you do it, but not when Teresa does it. Got it. I'm so sick of the nonsense. It's the back and forth. It's all bullshit. You could talk about her husband, but she can't even say something about yours. It's annoying. That is what people are over. We're done with that. It's so stupid. Like, can we not? I'm so glad that a change is coming. I don't know who they're going to bring back, who they're taking off the show. But the Teresa, Melissa, and Joe Gorga storyline, that is dead. That is dead. And let's get into Little Bitty Joe. Joe played his cards all wrong, okay? Joe did not do right. How do you sit up here, you hear all this bad stuff about Louis? Because I've never been Team Louis, okay? I love Teresa, but I ain't never been Team Louis. But I get it. I get why she's with him. Teresa is very much ashamed that she had to go to prison. That's an embarrassing thing for her. She does not like that, right? And she met a man who's not judging her. His family is not judging her for it. And she feels comfortable with him. He loves on her in a way that her first husband never did. He treats her so nice. He's, in therapy. He's doing all these things. She loved it. And if Joe would have objected to the relationship because, hey, this man got a lot going on. He has a checkered past. He got all these exes coming out of whatever. He got all these lawsuits. He got a lot of drama and baggage. And this is not what you and my nieces need. If that was his stance, I don't think anybody would be able to disagree with Joe. But that was not Joe's stance. Joe went all over the world telling people how much he loved Louis. I love him. Because you wanted to stick it to Joe Giudice. So you were like, I love him. I love him. And then you take it a step further and you want to go into business with him and your sister. Why? The family relationship is shaky and you want to go into business. And then when you didn't get things your way, now you hate him. Yeah, you're an embarrassment. As a man, you are an embarrassment. You're supposed to stand up for your sister and be like, look, you can hate me if you want to, but I don't think this is a good relationship for you or my nieces. Let that be the reason why y'all not talking. Let that be the reason because you stood on business. But the real reason y'all not getting along is because you could not exploit him and your sister the way you wanted to, and now you're throwing a bitch fit. And you should be ashamed. You and your wife should be ashamed. It should have never been, oh, we went into business and he screwed me out of business. You should have never asked him to go into business. Your begging ass went over there asking this man for money. How is he supposed to respect you? You should have never asked him to go into business. What you should have done is stood firm and said, hey, this guy got a lot going on. Instead, you mad at this man over a pizza oven. And all his attempts to try to make peace, you refused them. Because you're mad about money. You're not mad at him because he got all this. Because to be honest, if that was my sister, I'd be like, girl, you need to let him figure his legal stuff out, get that all together, heal from that, and then y'all could talk about getting married. That would have been my position. But instead, you mad at this man over a pizza oven and some money. In a business that y'all really couldn't start because you didn't have the rights to legally start this business. It belonged to someone else. But yeah, I'm over this. Nothing was resolved. We already knew that. Like I've said before, I'm over all the shenanigans. Hopefully they come back next season. It's going to be my girls, Teresa, Jennifer, Dolores. I don't really want to see the rest of them. Jen Fessler, girl, I don't think you should come back. Because, you know what I was thinking? I was like, you're not cut out for this. But maybe you, I don't know. Why would you run away from this dinner? You see all the messy stuff that Margaret does, and you don't clutch her pearls and be like, oh my God, Margaret, this makes me uncomfortable. I don't want to be a part of this. But then you're in the dinner and now you're running away. I would like to believe that you're too decent to be a part of these shenanigans, but I don't believe you. Because did you not watch the show? Do you not know what goes on Real Housewives of New Jersey? I would like to believe that someone who is connected to Barbra Streisand just don't want to be a part of the mess. But I'm not convinced. I'm just not. Anyways, y'all, please like and subscribe. I'm gonna try to come back after this reunion. If it's good, then I'll come back. If it's not, thank you guys for watching The Real Housewives of New Jersey with me. This is the end of an era. They say when it come back, it's not gonna be the same, so we'll see what happens. But thanks for watching.